pancakes, and which is pretty much fried food, and all those things for breakfast. That's how you start your day. That was great. It was a good way to start my day. Nice and gluttonous. Got some chores done and stuff. Dishes, cleaned all the bathrooms out and stuff. So I'm feeling productive. Good tournament going. Almost in the finals already. It's been a pretty quick tournament, guys. It's only 2 hours so far gone by. Oh, party. Gotta let them know. Yeah, so we're going into game 1 of the second semifinal set between Tiki and Groovyman. Make sure my overlay is ready to go, guys, and we will get into the game and have some fun. Yeah, so thank you guys so much again. I know I've been just sitting here thanking you all so much this every single break, but I really do appreciate it. I mean, just watching this and trying to have some fun, playing some StarCraft and watching some StarCraft is cool to at least have friends to do that with. So thank you all for sticking around. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the donations, and to the players and also to the stream. It's very appreciated. Well, okay, so good luck, have fun throwing from both players. Let's get into the game. Spawning in the baby blue, or I guess aqua, I don't know however you guys want to call this. The Protoss player, it is Tiki. And in the bottom right, representing his own team, Team Groovy, with that really cool looking portrait right here, it is our orange, Home Depot orange Terran player, Groovyman. Okay. Nice little star emote going from him. Oh, first game, just Groovyman really wanting to let Tiki know what kind of game he's getting into. I don't know how I feel about a proxy barracks against Protoss, because Adepts do really, really well against Reapers. Now, if this is a proxy, into like a bunker rush or something, I could see that being a little more effective. But even then, it just doesn't have the same effect as it does against like a Zerg player. But we'll see. I mean, he fortunately Tiki did send out a worker right away, so he's going to be able to see, hey, this isn't right. Why am I even able to get in this base? That is not good at all. But he does already throw that expansion down, which may not be the best thing, because he wants to get that Cyber out as fast as possible. So having this Reaper come out when it does is going to be pretty painful. Cybernex Core is coming out right now, so it's going to be a little bit of a worker chase at the beginning, especially the first 2 or so Reapers are going to come out before the before an Adept does, or even a Stalker, whichever choice he does make. So it's the second tier gateway units do counter Reapers, just so we know. But this could be a big crutch for our Terran player. Reaper is coming in right now, so we're gonna see if he gets up to any mischief. He's gonna get a couple workers. He looks like he's going the micro worker route, which is pretty smart. Reaper's obviously gonna be able to easily chase. Ooh, no! Bad micro from Groovyman. The Zealot is able to get that done. So not necessarily bad micro, but miss micro there. Zealot's going to come out, and probably over to this ledge area might be a good idea, just to hop, as soon as these guys hop up. This is the only place in this map that Reapers can come up. So he's able to deter this Reaper rush really quick, and he's able to get this economy and not really be affected too much by it. Mothership Core is out, so if this turns into some sort of crazy all-in, he's gonna be able to push it off. Zealot's knowing better. Looks like he's patching up, because keeping the shields pretty high, but keeping the Reaper busy, while we do have an Adept coming out right now, and Warp Gate coming in at the same time. Oh, Reaper almost a little bit surrounded by these Zealots. He looks like he's gonna kind of do a little ring around the rosy right now. Mothership Core coming to help out, and he's gonna be able to push this Reaper away. We have another one being built as well from Groovyman. I'm not so sure how good of an idea this is to keep on committing to this particular playstyle. Cyclones are a good choice. They would be able to help this out, but I think I would have liked seeing the proxy. If you're going to proxy like this, proxying the Cyclones initially, because the Cyclone, I mean, it would just not be 2 Cyclones or so would probably just not be hitting the base anyway, but that would be able to take out the single pylon in the 2 Zealots that were built. Keeping on going Mass Reaper like this, I'm just not sure if this is the matchup that this is going to work in. But again, Groovyman, really good player. As we saw in the last couple games where we casted him, he definitely knows what he's doing. It's not his first rodeo. But I've never really had this work against me as a Protoss player. If somebody tries to go Mass Reaper early game. Do you have a drop coming out? These 2 Cyclones are coming up, which is going to be good, because then you have these Reapers coming in. Actually, it's a pretty smart move, because he's probably going to be able to hit a lot of the workers from one angle while Tiki's going to be distracted from the other side. But the Cyclones are going to be dropping right into an Immortal, which is the exact wrong unit you want the Cyclones to be fighting. Do have Cloak coming out right now, so it looks like we have some Cloak Banshees who are going to be coming out as well. Groovyman is going super harass. Zealot dying almost right away. Oh no, and this Cyclone drop is happening as soon as he gets distracted, pulling the Immortal right out of the way. Looks like he deals with the Reapers first. These Cyclones are able to just kill so many more workers than the Reapers would have initially. We do have only 2 workers have died so far, so it's actually pretty good reaction from Tiki. He is supply blocked right now, but I think he has plenty of supply to deal with this. Nexus, not even the shoots go down all the way. But it looks like this harass is just going to continue going. It's going back and forth and just kind of playing ring around the rosy with this. With Photon Overcharge available, it's going to make this much more difficult. It's trying to exhaust the energy from the Mothership Core, I guess, is probably the best choice until we can get more Immortals out. Would be, I think, what I would like to see the most against a Cyclone drop like this. However, we do have this Banshee is on the way. It has enough energy to cloak, but we do have observers on the field. We actually have numerous observers, and it looks like this is actually going to get shut down right now by the overcharge. He did commit a little heavily to some of these units. Oh, and he's just out of range, so it looks like he's going to be able to pick this off, but Mothership Core can come in and just kind of tickle this guy to death and get those last few shots in. But is he ready for the next big engagement? I mean, there is enough energy right now for 2 more overcharges. So the Banshees shouldn't be too much of a threat. I mean, they can't shoot up, so these observers will be able to finish... will be able to detect, depending on where they're located. But where are they right now? They could be across the map, and that would be not the best. Not too far off. Looks like it is moving out right now as soon as this Banshee is almost ready. The other guy is checking out the base, which is what you want to do with an observer. It's going out and observing. Oh, third one being made right now, though. It looks like Tiki's very, very self-conscious on his map control, which is going to really play in his favor right now as this observer comes out. He's going to lose a couple probes to this. Maybe, I guess, about 4 or 5 before the reaction is going to be there on time. We don't have any stalkers here yet, though, but this overcharge is coming out just in time. 9 probes killed because we are able to get... I didn't see this other Banshee coming to the other side of the map as well. So these stalkers are going to come in and finish this guy off. The second Banshee, though, been able to kill 10 workers. That's a huge... putting a huge loss right now for Tiki. Sorry, I'm losing my voice already. Pardon me, guys. Well, from Tiki, and back at, I haven't even looked at Groovyman's map in the past 10 minutes, it seems. Haven't even been in the game for 10 minutes, but that's how long it's been since I've looked at his map. Huge amounts of production right now. He's been able to just harass and force units to be built out of the Protoss player with just minimal amounts of his own, causing allowing him to just really ramp up his production and having, how many, that's 4 or 5 barracks right now. It's going mass bio play, a couple siege tanks coming out as well to really complement the defense, and then maybe even offensive struggle. So a little more harass happening right now on the other side of the map. Looks like I'm just missing a couple workers getting killed. I'm sorry about that. Looks like this Banshee is finally cleaned up. We do have charge coming for our player right now, but against concussive shell marauders is not very good. You don't want to have a bunch of zealots versus a bunch of marauders at all times. I mean, they're okay. They're not that bad, but it kind of deters that aggressive in your face charge lot if they get hit with those concussive shells. A pretty heavy bio army against looks like our composition is going. I mean, with this many immortals, though, I guess. Not taking those into consideration earlier, those should be able to handle those marauders pretty well, especially with a couple really well placed force fields. Groovyman's still loving his harass gameplay style right now and landing this barracks again. I don't know if he's doing that just to deny a 4th or if he's actually planning on using it to get a couple more Reapers up here just to say hi and force some energy out of the Mothership Core or anything along those lines. Looks like he picked off that observer, I guess is what just happened. Go to units lost. Yeah, observer was picked off for that scan. To getting as much scouting information taken away from the Protoss player as possible. These stalkers are moving up a little too high, and they're probably gonna get caught just as we're out of location. Unfortunately, Blink is done, so they're able to save themselves. Only one of them about to die, but with this many marauders are absolutely the best answer to Blink stalkers you can have. Force Field's pretty good, keeping this engagement in the Protoss' favor just slightly. However, the upper hand can easily be taken by the Terran because this wall is still up. The debris to keep the transfer a little bit more difficult if he's able to get a little bit further towards the second base. And I think that this might have gone a little bit more in the favor of the Terran player. However, Protoss is able to keep his own right now. Trying to get rid of this observer still yet again. I'm not sure if he thought that might have been a DT or something, just seeing that along the ways. Or keeping his vision up and going. But we have way more Marauders and Marines and Marauders coming in his little tango line here. So this looks like it is somewhat of an all-in from Groovyman, or at least definitely he's committing to this quite a bit. Siege Tank's coming up, just trying to kind of keep the distance away from the Protoss player, keeping them on the low ground. They're funneling up right now. Funneling into this base, but I think with this many Immortals and Archons coming right now, it's pretty good against this Marauder count. Siege Tank coming in right now, sieging up, and it's going to start hitting these pylons very quickly. These charge lots hit almost right away. SCV is coming out on front. It's a really good play from our Terran player, trying to keep as much of the damage away from the actual damaging army as possible. But Protoss player is able to push this away with these Archons and heavy Immortal count right up to the Siege Tank line, and probably hopefully should take out that Siege Tank. Very good pick off right now. Groovyman's army is dwindling quite a bit. I would like to see him kind of pick up and get out of here, because I think this commitment against this many Immortals isn't going to work out in his favor. Siege Tank's still doing so much damage right now. This guy has 3 kills, but GG is called by Groovyman, and Tiki does take game 1 in the semis. Well, that was a hell of a game, guys. Oh, Dome, yeah, coming in and rooting for our Terran player here for Groovyman. Dome, if you don't follow Groovyman on Twitter, you need to, or sorry, on Twitch, you need to check that guy out. Sorry, I'm losing my Sorry, a little bit of banter in chat. I'm just kind of checking up, making sure everything's going okay in the tournament so far. And I lost my train of thought. Sorry about that. Oh man. Oh, it looks like Phoenix Tears is trying to get a donation for a Blue Yeti microphone. Blue Yetis are really cool. I would like one of those. I have a Blue myself, but it's a Snowball, not the Yeti. It was a really good game back and forth between both players. I think that Groovyman's able to recover from the cheese being deterred, or that initial aggression being pushed away so quickly in game 1. So let's see if how this works out in game 2. Let's see if he goes super aggressive again, maybe a little bit more of a macro play against our Protoss player. But we're going into game 2. It's going to be on Acolyte LE. Your caster today is unknown. Okay, make sure I switch my overlay properly. I did. Okay. Spawning in the purple trunks this time. Trying to keep himself take 2 games in a row so he can make it to the finals. It is Groovyman. Dome, I can hear you all the way, a whole country away, or even continent away. I forget exactly where you are. It could even be the same state. I forget where you're located, Dome. But I can already hear you screaming and just being like, "Go Terran! Woo! Yeah! Go Groovyman!" Okay, cool. I'm a Groovyman fan myself. It's all fine. You can cheer for whoever you want. I'm also a Protoss fan, so I'm a little torn on this one. But our light blue Protoss player is Tiki. Took game 1 off Groovyman, being able to push away the Reaper aggression. Really well done. But I guess Groovyman is a sub here, so I kind of have to. I guess I have to root for him, right? Well, not have to, obviously. I would want to anyway, sub or not, just because I have a relationship with the guy already. But I mean, that should. If you're gonna get any perks in this stream, it's like, hey, if you sub, then I'll make sure to root for you when you get casted. So looks like we no cheesiness coming out of Groovyman this time. Expansion coming out pretty early from Tiki as well. Not early, I guess pretty standard timing. Already has the saturated gas on his main. Cybernetics core coming down as well. I was just getting a little distracted with talking about subs and you know, my channel and all that nonsense, Groovyman, whatever. So get the game kicked off nice and good. Tiki finally is probably a little bit relieved to see, okay, so no barracks and any weird placement this time around. It's right where I expected it to be. Did he see the second going down? He did not. So he didn't get that little useful piece of information, and he still has an opening here, so we can go back in and check it out. This Reaper will be done in time to swat that probe away immediately. Yep. Just asking who won the last game. Tiki won the last game, and it's already been answered, and you're going to not even hear me say that for another minute. But I still, just in case anybody was wondering, Tiki did win the last game. Hence the 1-1-0 on Groovyman right now, seen in the bottom left if you are unfamiliar with WCS Game Heart and or the WCS overlay. That's really bad observing there for a second. Sorry about that, guys. Reaper does make it into the Protoss's base, able to pick off one worker on relay over to the new natural expansion. Grenade goes off to getting rid of this Adept. Probably just getting a little bit of recon available. Didn't see any tech buildings. This Stargate would be really crucial right now, so I'm sure he was really hoping to get a little bit of that intelligence going. So Stargate opener out of Tiki. No other tech coming in right now except for Warp Gate on a single gateway. So it looks like he's just kind of banking up, maybe trying to get a Oracle right away. Not sure what else he would want to do with this. He does. He did see that. So Groovyman did see the Stargate. He did select it, so he knows that that's there. He also knows that there is an Oracle. It's almost guaranteed going to be on its way very shortly. So there's a couple different ways you can react to this. I think Widow Mines are the easiest way. It's just a Widow Mine on your mineral line. The Oracle comes in, it is dead immediately, and then you can pick that guy up and put it somewhere else. Another good reaction might, you know, some missile turrets are obviously good, but if he doesn't have an engineering bay down already, a ton of Marines or a Widow Mine are going to be your best options, and I think Widow Mine is probably the best, safest way to go for Groovyman, and that is a route he does in fact take. So let's see if this trap is sprung or not. A couple Hellions coming out as well, so the Oracle could, instead of fighting, does he see? They just barely skirt on by each other. So instead of coming home and probably doing the best thing and being able to defend against this Hellion push, which Groovyman, I feel like he really is. Oh, we got some bits coming up. Andy man throwing 100 bits at me. I appreciate that, man. Did that Revelation just get thrown? Now I'm kind of missing out on my games right now. Hellion's coming into this worker line. Oh, about to do so much damage to these probes. Is really hitting. God, 6 probes killed already. He is going to lose these Hellions to the rest of this, but getting 8 probes of those Hellions, I'm not sure if that's the trade he wanted or not, but it's not bad at all. And he forced the Oracles to come on home versus, I mean, only one SCV has died so far, and that was to what, an Adept earlier? I'm not sure exactly where that died from. But that really good harass play from Groovyman so far in both games, and it looks like he's going to keep that up. Banshee coming in as well. Does he have cloak research done? I didn't see that he does, so he's going to be able to just keep the cloak as long as he needs until this Phoenix shows up. Then he should be hitting it right now, which is a good play. Oracles are going to have to come back home and revelate on this guy just to show as much as he can. So 6-7 more workers. Groovyman is doing such a good job killing as many of these workers as he can. Revelation does come down. Phoenix is going to be able to clean up this Banshee, but at what cost? 10 workers just on that one guy. So far, 19 workers lost from Tiki. Groovyman just doing an excellent job. So I'm going to turn my game sounds up just a bit. Let's go master volume just so. Yeah, it should be pretty good. Let me know if that's too loud, guys. Appreciate letting me know about that, Andy man. Thank you also for the 100 bits. I really appreciate that. I'm sorry that Streamlabs didn't let me know about the donation. I really need to work on my Streamlabs. Actually, no, I think it did let me know about the donation. It did the haha little message. But I know subs and follows currently aren't displayed the way that I was trying to have them, so I apologize if you subbed and I didn't see it, or if you follow any sort of follows that I didn't see. But it looks like I didn't miss any of those yet. Just the follows. Oh, Widowmine does go down and is able to... Oh, gets picked up. Perfect timing by these Phoenixes. Really great play from Tiki. That was a phenomenal response time. Able to get those before they burrow right away. 3 workers still do die. Looks this Banshee's... Another Banshee's coming in and able to clean up as much as he can. So I don't think he cares that he lost that Widowmine. He's just really cleaning up the economy from Tiki while also building up his own expansion. 3rd expansion coming down. Already getting it halfway saturated on the minerals and able to ramp up his production yet again. So Groovyman loving this super harassed play. It's a much different side of him than I remember casting in the past. Then I usually only see him play TVT, TVZ kind of matchups, so I'm unfamiliar with his Protoss play, but it looks like he hasn't changed much in between his Zerg games, and this is just a fantastic play style that I'm seeing from Groovyman, and I really like the direction he's taken it. Tiki, though, is able to respond really well. He has lost a considerable amount of workers. I mean, losing 30 workers is nothing to sneeze about, but it hasn't really hurt his tech that much. He still has... he has a higher supply count than Groovyman. I mean, he has they're equal on workers still. Now, with the mules, that does vamp the economy into the Terran's favor, but with a 50 army supply to 49 army supply, and if you go into army value, I think that the Protoss is usually going to be a little bit higher in this regard. So you have a lot of items. These Marines are just super expendable. You have, I mean, they're going to be easy to take out depending on the kind of units that he has. Which right now I don't see very many units that are good against Marines besides an Adept. Maybe some Phoenixes to pick those guys up, but that's probably not the kind of engagement you want. These Oracles are just on the worst track possible right now. They looks like they're going to be flying right over, but actually perfectly right beside. I take that back. Coming over, maybe just getting a perfect little revelation on coming back home to say, hey, this army is coming out. Looks like he knows what is about to happen. But this army is still definitely menacing. You have a lot of these siege tanks and these good couple decent amount of Marauders. But with this many Phoenixes, I just don't know. These siege tanks are going to get picked up almost immediately. The stim in from the Marines able to push them away at least, trying to back them off. But I'm not sure if Groovyman wants to take this engagement yet. I mean, there's plenty of Adepts to clean up the Marines. The siege tanks get picked up right away by the Phoenixes unless he keeps on guarding those. And there's just 2 Immortals is all you need to knock out these Marauders. So, I mean, he's pretty much hard countered with his unit composition against the army that the Protoss has right now. And the Observer coming in, he is... Oh, I'm missing a complete drop over here right now. I'm so sorry. What did I miss? Anything? I think it was just 2 Adepts? Is that all? Or were they just attacking? I'm not sure what I missed. Sorry, guys. But with the 4th base coming down for Groovyman, just being able to contain the Protoss right now might be the best way to go. Huge... Oh, he does... He commits with a huge Adept Fate Warp in. Oh, this army just gets devastated immediately. Trying to pick up one of the siege tanks, and he does end up getting shot down out of the air. These few Marines and Marauders are all that's left. Adepts coming in with another Fade on top of this army. It looks like they're cleaning up even more of this. The Phoenix is coming in, picking up whatever Marines they can, and taking care of these medevacs. There's another reinforcing army here from Groovyman to at least intercept the Phoenixes. Adepts are starting to get picked off from the Marauders, and it looks like that was extremely back and forth, and it is pushed away. But the contain is over from Groovyman, and now Tiki is free to expand to his 4th, even take a gold, and it looks like he has a little bit more map dominance right now than he did previously. It's a very good engagement from the Protoss player. But definitely this is by no means this game ending. It looks like we're going to be going into mid game right now, because well, we're in mid game right now, but it looks like we should be going into late game here, unless there's some crazy weird drop scenario from Groovyman that's able to end the game right now. But it looks like this is not going to be over anytime soon, as the back and forth army compositions right now from both players. Andyman says, follow Duttles into oblivion. Should also follow Andyman on Twitch. He does every Monday. He does replay requests. So if you submit replays into the Mitosis Gaming's Discord, he is going to do a replay happy hour. And I join when I can. I can't join every time, but I do like to hop in and help out. I think I helped out on the first one, and that was about it. Maybe just a little bit. Volticus has helped out as well. sometimes we gotta get some other guest casters in there too. So if you're interested in maybe participating in that, feel free to at least ask. We're always willing to help people out and at least try it out, see how it goes. But Andyman is a huge contribution to this community, and I'm co-founder of Mitosis Gaming. So please follow his Twitch, follow Mitosis Gaming on Twitter too. Whatever you want to do, whatever you feel like is the best way to go. Show some support and some love to this community. Colossus out as well for our Protoss player. Sorry, trying to get back into the game here. It's a really interesting unit composition. You have Archons and Colossus for that AoE damage, and Adepts as well to clear up those Marines. So the Marines are definitely not going to be living very long against this Protoss army. But, I mean, these Liberators should be pretty good against almost everything being thrown at it right now. Sorry guys, my FPS just went to absolute garbage after that revelation, so I'm sorry about that. But Archon's coming in, and it looks like this Terran army is able to clean up most of this Protoss army. It looks like they're just stimming on top of it. The whole time, though, they were able to clean up the entire army. The whole time, these Adepts did kind of skirt away and just get as much harassed on as they could, killing 9 workers. This Adept is uncontested right now. It's picking away as many workers as he wants. A Ghost comes into play here. So he does show there are Ghosts on the field now for the Terran. That's probably why he was able to pick off those so much. They was totally blended in. There's no skins. I cannot tell the difference between a Ghost and a Marine at all. But we did have 11 workers killed so far. How many workers have died this game? 27 to 12. So really leaning into the Terran's favor there with the harass damage outcome. Oracle's still trying to get as many revelations as possible. He is doing a great job keeping tabs on the Terran army, but the last engagement was just so unfavorable for him. He was able to rebuild some Colossus up in time, but with the amount of ghosts and siege tanks and everything up right now, that may not be the answer that he's looking for. I don't think, because these Colossus are going to drop so fast. You can just look at that army. One ghost just super dramatically dies. Why are ghosts just the most dramatic thing in this entire... Ghosts are just the most dramatic unit in the game. When everything else dies, we're like, bah! When Ghost dies, like, every time. Every time. Guys, listen. One of these Ghosts die. It's going to happen every time. But let me get in a little bit of a more better engagement scenario. Getting sieging up from the Liberators right now. Siege tanks in the back. Even more Liberation zones being set up. Really containing this Protoss into this death ball situation that you don't want to be in. Plenty of Stalkers coming up. Oh, Widow Mine's coming up, but I don't think they're gonna be able to root in time. The Liberators coming up as well, but there's plenty of Blink Stalkers to pick those off. So this is a much more favorable engagement. Oh, did you guys hear that? Anyway, so there's much more favorable engagement from the Protoss player this time around. He was able to respond and get a different unit composition than before, with plenty more Blink Stalkers to fight those Liberators and take care of these Ghosts as well. There's still plenty of Ghosts left in this army, with 5 remaining in this forward-most Terran army, with 7 total on the field so far. I'm reading a little bit out of position right now. This has just been the most back and forth PvT I've seen in a long time, so I'm losing my voice, guys. Did I see disruptors in the field? Those should be doing great response to even Marine, Ghost, Marauder. It kills just about all those in one shot. 5th base going down for our Protoss player. Looks like we're still on 4 bases from Terran right now, so it looks like the Protoss is ready to get into a super gas-heavy composition. I'm sorry, 5th base is landing for the Terran as well, so they're just neck and neck with their economy right now. Terran should be getting a little bit more of a ramp right away. I know there's a way to look up an actual chart for economy, but I have no idea how to do that, guys. So I think that'd be an interesting statistic just to see who has the actual higher economy right now. Maybe Shift E. No, whatever. Not that important. Disruptor coming up and right into a liberation zone right outside of it. It was a huge hit right there. Taking up plenty of this, at least keeping the army where he wants it to be. Siege tank's going to go down pretty quickly. Liberators also. It's another disruptor shot coming in, taking care of a good chunk of this army. Workers are being pulled right now. Looks like the Protoss player taking a really good engagement. Colossus is doing so much work to this heavy bio army. But the Marauders coming up and pushing forward, able to push these... oh my goodness. Able to push this Colossus back and cleans up the entire Protoss army. This is just so 1-1 every single game. An absolute nightmare for both players right now. But behind it, yet again, I mean, 19 workers dying. here. I mean, they're just hitting each other's economy so hard. Finally, the Protoss player has caught up and has taken the lead in harassment damage, but only because they were using the meat shield in that last attack from Groovyman. So both players on 5 full mining bases, almost entire armies wiped out in just about every engagement. Going Void Rays this time around. I think every single time we have a different tech switch, just so slightly from our Protoss player. A little slightly different addition, but oh, pardon me. Oh. Sorry, just talking so much makes you yawn, you know. Well, but it looks like the Terran player looking is really, really confident with this heavy Liberator siege tank. You know, the typical Liberator siege tank, Marine Marauder, Ghost, Widowmine composition that you see every day on ladder, right? But, I mean, this observer sees everything that's happening right now, so he knows exactly that he didn't make any sort of weird tech change, didn't go into Thors, didn't go into mech or anything like that. So, Tiki knows what he needs to have to fight against it. Coming out right now, oh, he knows where the army is, but he isn't able to keep tabs on it. That Oracle does sacrifice its own life to at least show where it is. Coming out, looks like they're probably going to want to take these rocks down, or just want to siege up behind it. Getting ready to, yeah, we're going to be able to take these rocks down. Widowmine's going up in the frontmost part. Does Protoss players see that this is happening? A little bit of another Adept harass coming in, so he doesn't know exactly what this army is. He's about to push right into this. Oh, nukes! Oh, no! No, please show it. Please let it happen. Oh, Groovyman showing nuke pretty early, so it looks like he's just using that as a little bit of an engagement buffer. It's not going to do any real damage right now. I think he actually cancels the nuke. But keeping the Protoss player away from wherever he wants his army to be able to really smooth pick off of that 5th base. Good usage of a nuke just for as a contain is sort of a situation, almost like a force field that Protoss was to use, but instead of a force field, you have just, you know, a nuclear bomb being dropped in a certain location. Adepts coming in trying to do some more damage, picking up floor workers themselves, but they do get cleaned up, especially when the Ghost does use a cloak ability. And it looks like our main Terran Deathball is going to be moving around, trying to pick up this 4th base as well, maybe with similar actions. The army, where is Army? The Army's super out of position to fight this, but they should be there on time by the time the Liberator zones are seen and set up. So it looks like they are on their way to at least clean this up. Another nuclear bomb check, though. Oh no, and the Protoss player looks like it's walking right into the trap this time. And that nuke drops right now. It's going to clean up almost this entire Protoss army. He does back off. Nuclear bomb does not hit any of the Protoss units, but it did at least do a contain and push the army away. It looks like these Corruptors and Stalkers are coming in yet again, and they're cleaning up a lot more of the Terran army this time, much more heavy Stalker composition. But with enough Marauders here that shouldn't be as effective, I guess, as it currently is. But I guess the Void Rays in the mix. Pardon me, with the Void Rays in the mix, it does certainly help the Protoss' cause against those army-heavy units. Oh no, Andyman got a clip of something. I don't know if it's me doing a Ghost impression or what. But another nuke coming in, but it looks like his own army is just hanging out on top of that nuke. Groovyman, you're going to want to move this army. Please don't nuke yourself, buddy. Okay, it does come out, so it looks like we're finally going to get a little bit of nuke damage, and nope, no, nuke is canceled. Nothing would have been hit by that. 5 more workers killed, and another base sniped off from our Terran player. As Protoss Deathball blinking, aggressive blink forward to pick off some of these tanks. The Marine Stem and Marine Marauder Stem able to push it back away, so it's no overcommitment from either player here. It's pretty much like a hornet's nest is coming in and stinging you and saying, get out of here. I do not want those Colossus near me. And it worked. It was effective. Though that Protoss army is pushed away. Groovyman looking really good this game. Both players looking really good this game. This is just has to be so menacing and annoying. This little Terran Deathball moving around, picking off bases one by one. That Widowmine would have been in a really good location if it didn't unburrow. But it is picked off by these stink blockers. These blink stalkers are able to do enough harass damage and at least pick off the little outliers and outskirts. Some of these reinforcers as well. Oh, killing that. Oh, Ghost dying right away. So it's an unfortunate good amount of money being wasted. These blink stalkers being able to pick off these harassments. Another nuke coming down right now. Oh, it looks like the Protoss players is taking the fight yet again. This is just such a tease. I want to see a nuke. Oh, if is he gonna let he does cancel it yet again? It's more harass coming in over here from our these adepts. It's a couple Widow Mines here right behind the command center. Pardon me. So right out of vision, so we can't really see that they're where they are. Able to deter this from doing too much more damage. But 54 total workers have died in this game. Tiki and Groovyman really having a phenomenal engagements back and forth here. Oh no, this look at this tango line of workers coming in to keep continuously building from this 5th that got destroyed yet again. Tiki still hasn't rebuilt it yet. It looks like he's getting focused on army. So even GM and Masters players, guys, we still have mental exhaustion. It's a real thing in StarCraft, and it looks like both these players are probably feeling it right now. I mean, after a while, when you constantly have to keep on rebuilding bases and things like that, I'm sure he's aware, but he doesn't have the mineral count to really do anything about it. Oh, Siege Tank does have vision of this disruptor, is able to at least get a little bit of a pick shot on it. Wonky camera angles there for a second, guys. I apologize about that. So I think it looks like zero production happening right now from Tiki because his economy's just been hit so hard. Looks like he's trying to find a good engagement point to hit this army from. This little, he's probably going to see this little task force of Marines coming around. He just out of his vision. If he hit that, that could have been pretty good in his favor. But it's starting to look like a Terran favored game, just because even though plenty of workers have died from Groovyman, with Terran, I mean, they have those orbital commands are able to just immediately replenish them. Which, speaking of orbital commands, I think this position usually you see a planetary fortress here probably be very helpful against just 3 or 4 adepts coming in, because that would be able to take care of those immediately, especially with your workers repairing. Probably in the future, I don't know if that's. I'm not going to try to give Groovyman advice here, but this is what I usually would see. Disruptor coming in from the back, and it was spotted, but it looks like it's right over the Widow Mines. Really good placement, but then a bad rally point afterwards, so he sacrifices that Disruptor for 3 Widow Mines, which is a pretty decent engage, I'd say. Oh, Disruptor Bomb getting a good piece, a chunk of that Terran army right now, going right in this Liberator zone. Blinkstalker's coming in as well to clean up the Liberators as much as possible. Plenty... so many ghosts dying. I can't help it. This is so good. I can't help it. But so that's a huge engagement from our Protoss player. When it looked like there's no way this could go out of the Terran's favor. Because he had a fantastic engagement. I think that Disruptor kind of threw Groovyman off just for a minute. Nuclear bomb. No, is it landing? Okay, it didn't land. To say I know that's not what Groovyman wants right now, but it enables this Protoss player to come up into this other base and pick off the 5th base for Groovyman. But he does have a 6 that's it's completely mined out of this 4th. I'm surprised we don't have more bases from Groovyman once he's been committing this army. And this is another engagement going super heavily into the Protoss player. Way more ghosts dying in this most obnoxious way possible. Groovyman says GG, good luck in the finals, and Tiki takes game 2. And secures his place. It's looking like it's gonna be Tiki versus Tomicus. Guys, let me rest my throat for just a moment. Let me Sheer Shadai says, Pult, is that you? Sorry, I have to watch this clip. Just give me one moment.